last lecture we all had discussed about the concentration. Now see this particular unit, as I told you, we are discussing what all things we required in laboratory. So first we had discussed about the precaution part, that as soon as in laboratory you are entering in, what precautions you should take care. Then we have discussed about the rules and regulation to be followed into the laboratory. Now, what is the other important basic requirement into the laboratory? It was the measurement. So, we have dealt with the measurement part. In the measurement, we have discussed the aspects of measuring the weight, simple, then what are the prefix used for the various measurement. Then thereafter, we had discussed about the temperature, concentration, and today we all will start a new part, and it is also related to calculation only, biostatistic. Now what do you mean by statistic? Biostatistic, just a minute, someone wants to join in. You should be in time. You should be in time. So when we talk about the biostatistic, that means utilization of statistical data into the biological form. That means to study the biology we are using the statistic. So simply, first of all, what do you mean by the statistic? Actually, statistic is a discipline that concerns with the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data. So when we talk about the biostatistics, so that means all this particular discipline we are applying in the biology form. Okay, for purpose of studying the biology. So biostatistic, we can say that it is the discipline that will be concerned with collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data related to the biology. So today we will be talking about the biostatistic. When we talk about the biostatistic, so here it is purely subject of the scientific activity that is going to deal with the theory and methods of collection, analysis, and interpretation of the data, because lots of data is going to be generated when you will do the research, or whenever you will be performing any type of the biological practical. So a lot of data will be observed, generated, and we have to analyze it to come on the conclusion. So the type of data encountered by biologists may be ranging from a population of a given species into an ecosystem, to the hundred and thousand of biomolecule, maybe their property, function, and so on. So lots of data generate when we do the scientific study. So all this data we have to handle, and until unless we will not organize this particular data, we cannot analyze it, and we cannot interpret, and we cannot be precise with that particular data. Say example, I want to take the weight of any uh, organisms. Take example fish only. I am doing study on fish, and that particular fish I need to take the weight every day. So if I will write the data or information, my studies information in my dissemination, so that particular time, if I will write the date of every day, so that is going to become a huge data. Suppose I have taken that particular study for 60 day, and I have 10 fish, so 60 into 10, so much data is going to be generated. So what I could do, I could arrange them in an appropriate manner, and thereafter I can apply that. We all are going to study in detail into the later class about the central tendency, that how can we take the average or central data we can organize. that we all are going to deal into the later part. Now, when we have so much of observation and we want to express all such observation into the figures, that is the numerals, so that can uh, we can apply the rule of the biostatistic for presenting such type of the data. Say example, you want to study the cause of death wide rate that prevails over the cancer. So that particular time you will be having lots of data that suppose in came hospital so many deaths are because of the heart cancer, in Tata so many deaths because of the cancer in this hospital. So you will be getting so many numbers, and after that you all are going to compare that these are the normal deaths, out of that these deaths are because of the cancer, or maybe because of the covid, maybe because of so and so reason. You might have seen that in government websites, every day we are getting some numbers that because of COVID, because of this pandemic situation. So every day, how they are getting this particular number, it is because of the biostatistic only. That they might be counting that this particular area, these many deaths are there in Maharashtra. If they We are having state wise also and country wide also, that many deaths are there in a particular area because of COVID-19. So this is all because of that is also biostatistic only, because that relates to the human, and the human is what it is, the bio. Okay, bio means life. So it is related to the human, so definitely that is also a part of the biostatistic only. Say example, one more example we can take, that fish landing data in number for consecutive years, that so can be interpreted with the statistical tool that every day 5 kg of say example, the mackerel fish is coming in from that particular area. We will take the Bhaucha Dhakka. So for that particular landing center, or you can take the Sasun dock, anywhere you like to. So in that particular area, you are studying that how much mackerel is obtained from a particular area. So you will be observing and you are collecting the data over the years, and over the years it is going to be the huge number. So you can apply the statistical tool and arrange that particular data to get a particular acceptable result. So use of statistical method in the biological science is called as the biostatistic. Now we talk about the biostatistic. So it deals with the application of statistical tool for collection, presentation, and interpretation of data whatever we derive from the biological experiment. We may derive the data from the observation, like we can say that you want to understand the effect of new vaccine which is given to the for the prevention of the COVID-19. So maybe now it is a clinical trial. So you want to take the census. So that particular time that this many people they have taken the vaccine, they are healthy, or whatever your observations are there. So after the observation, if you will be finding any effect, so you can arrange that particular knowledge in a statistical method that is called as the biostatistic. So some basic concept are there. These concepts are very important to remember. That actually these are basically some terms which we all are going to use again and again in biostatistics. So we must know the meaning, or you can say the definition of such terms. The first term is the population. Students, my slide is clearly visible to you all. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Huh?
ma'am.
Okay. Now, when we talk about the first term, population, what do you mean by population? It is any finite or infinite collection of all possible objects. Now, here it could be living or non living under the study is called as the population. Now, say example, you want to study the people of a particular area. So that people will become the population of that particular area. Second term is the sample. Now see, we want to study the Indian population. Okay, so that particular time, if you will want to observe their effect, so you will definite a set of object and you will select it from population. So that selected set will be called as a sample. Then the next thing is the variable. Variable is a characteristic from the population which can be expressed numerically and it varies from object to object. So that is called as the variable. That means you all are going to study a particular, you all are not going to study all aspect of that particular population. You will decide some variables. So variables are the characteristic from the population. Now, next term D is attribute. All those characters which cannot be expressed quantitatively, but they can describe qualitatively, that will be called as attributes. Like say example, I want to find out, I have selected my sample as FYBSc class. Okay, and here I my variables are the say you can take example, variables are the co-curricular talent of the student. And here I can express the some variables quantitatively, like height of the student. Most of the majority of the student may have 5.2 height, say example. Okay, so I can count your height, I can measure your height, or I can measure your age. All the students are of 17 to 18 age. So these are the variable, but there are certain characters I cannot measure in quantity wise, but these are the qualitative, like intelligence. I have 1 kg intelligence, I cannot say. I cannot say any of your skill. So such variables are called as attributes. Okay, I cannot say that you are singing 5 kg good, you are singing 5 liter good. So you are, I will say you are an excellent singer. You are a very good singer. You need to improve your singing. So such terms are the qualitative terms. Okay. So and such qualitative terms are described as the attributes. Then next is the data. Data is a set of value which are recorded on one or more observation unit. It is called as data. Say example that I am doing a research and there in that I am taking the height of each and every FYBSc student. So first of all, what I will do, I will make a list. In that I will write roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thereafter, I will be recording the height of each of the students. So that is the data. In fact, the attendance which I am taking every day, it is nothing but a data. Then what we do at the end we cannot say that roll number 1 was present 10 times out of 12 lecture, roll number 2 was present so and so. What we do, we take collectively, we take the monthly average. Okay, then thereafter we take the percentile and we make the blacklist out of that, that these are the students. Now you have not completed your 1 month. After 1 month you will come to know all this process, that every month we are just making the blacklist of the student, in which the students those who are not attending 75% of the lecture, their roll numbers are displayed. But in that also we have category that student having attendance below 25 percentage, students having attendance 26 to 50%, and student having the attendance 50 to 75. So this is nothing but a data that these are the student, these they all are defaulter, but they have this type of the category of default.